In a world full of changes and chaos, it's easy to feel lost, caught up in the whirlwind of emotions and fleeting desires. Sometimes we might feel like just another face in the crowd, but deep inside, we all yearn to be cherished and appreciated for who we truly are, beyond our looks or what's on the surface. If you're seeking ways to achieve this, you're in the right place. Welcome to Like Kindly. Today, let's explore together 10 life-changing lessons from Stoicism, a timeless philosophy that has profoundly shaped the way we think and act. Stoicism teaches us how to approach our relationships with patience, calmness, and self-discipline, providing powerful insights into forming genuine, strong bonds with others. By embracing the core values of respect and self-esteem, you can become a more confident and valued individual, someone who is respected and admired in every interaction. But first, as we illuminate the path to a life of deep meaning and lasting happiness, let's get started on this transformative journey together. Number 1. Mastering nonverbal communication. Stoicism isn't about being uptight or dull. It's about cultivating self-control and resilience, focusing on what truly matters and not giving it away too easily. In a world of instant gratification and endless scrolling, Stoicism offers a refreshing pause. Consider this. In relationships or when meeting someone new, there's often a rush to share everything, our time, space, and deepest thoughts. But Stoics recommend a more measured approach. Why? Because when something is always available, it loses its allure. It's human nature. If you're constantly accessible and agreeable, where's the intrigue, the mystery, the anticipation? Now, let's discuss how to set boundaries with elegance, the Stoic way. It starts with how you present yourself. Dressing well but simply is more than about appearance. It sends a message of self-respect. You're not hiding yourself, but you're also not laying everything out all at once. It's about balance, suggesting there's more to you than meets the eye. Managing your time and attention is another key aspect. In our always-on world, choosing carefully who gets your time is a powerful statement. It's not about playing hard to get. It's about saying, my time is valuable and I manage it with care. When you're with someone, give them your full attention. But when you're not, it's perfectly fine to focus on your own life, your passions, and personal growth. Stoicism also teaches us about emotional control. It doesn't mean being unfeeling or aloof. Rather, it's about keeping a balanced view. This involves not letting the small stuff throw you off your game. It's about maintaining your inner calm and not handing out your emotional energy to just anyone. It's something people should earn, just like your time and attention. I'm not suggesting that you become unemotional or distant like a statue. We're all human, and deep connections are crucial for a rewarding life. But there's real value in taking things slowly, in building relationships that aren't just about instant satisfaction, but are deep and lasting, offering more than just quick fixes. Remember, setting boundaries isn't about playing games or manipulating scenarios. It's about self-respect and staying true to your values. It's about showing, not just telling, that you value yourself and deserve respect. By embracing Stoicism, you learn to navigate life with grace and dignity, creating meaningful connections that stand the test of time. Number 2, the power of saying no. In Stoicism, adhering to your principles and having the courage to be true to yourself are paramount, especially when it involves saying no in relationships. It's about being clear on your values and consistently upholding them, even if it might stir some discomfort. Imagine you're in a situation where your partner suggests something that doesn't align with your comfort zone. Maybe it's moving faster than you'd like, or something that conflicts with your moral compass. The easy route might be to agree, but that's when your Stoic teachings really need to apply. Saying no in such instances is an affirmation of your own values and boundaries. This is not a simple task. It can be particularly challenging when you have strong feelings for someone. You might worry, what if my refusal drives them away? But this is the moment to harness your Stoic bravery. Stoicism isn't only about managing external pressures. It's also about confronting our internal conflicts. Saying no is an act of self-respect. It demonstrates that you value yourself enough not to compromise on what matters most to you. Sure, there's a risk involved. The relationship might suffer. However, consider this. If standing firm on your values results in someone drifting away, perhaps they weren't the best fit for you after all. Taking this approach can dramatically shift the dynamics within a relationship. When your partner recognizes that you are confident enough to say no, and that you do not bend your principles to please others, it changes how they view you. It communicates that you have self-worth and that you respect yourself, and that's deeply compelling. There's more to it from a Stoic perspective. Saying no is not only about setting boundaries with others, but also about being truthful with yourself. It means acknowledging your true needs and desires in a relationship and not compromising them out of fear of loneliness. Let's pause and reflect on this lesson. Asserting your right to say no is crucial. It's about maintaining authenticity and integrity, as the Stoics would advise. It's about building relationships that are rooted in respect and true connection, not just convenience or fear of being alone. When you stay true to your values, you pave the way for deeper, more meaningful relationships that honor your true self. Number 3, knowing when to walk away. Stoicism teaches a powerful lesson about letting go. It's not about being distant or cold, but about understanding what we can change and what we cannot. One of the most empowering choices we can make is deciding whether to stay in or leave a situation that isn't good for us. This is especially important in relationships. Haven't we all been there? Stuck in a situation where we deserve better because we're afraid of being alone, afraid of change, or clinging to hope that things will improve. Stoicism teaches us that true strength comes from recognizing that we have the power to stay or go when things don't align with our principles. This doesn't mean you should walk away as soon as things get challenging. Relationships take work, understanding, and patience. However, it's crucial to know your worth and your principles so well that you're ready to move on if something goes against them. It's about having the inner strength and Stoic courage to say, I respect myself too much to settle for less. Thinking about leaving isn't always about making a dramatic exit. Often it's a quiet decision, a calm realization that something isn't right for you. Yes, it can be daunting. The future is unknown, and that's scary. But remember what Stoicism teaches. Face challenges with bravery and accept life's uncertainties. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to let go of what no longer suits your path. This way of thinking can change everything. In a relationship, knowing you're there because it reflects your values, not because you're scared to leave, alters everything. You're not staying out of desperation or fear. You're staying because you truly want to. And here's an important takeaway. When you have the courage to leave what doesn't serve you, you make room for what might. Being ready to move on isn't about being indifferent or uncaring. It's about caring for yourself enough to say, I deserve better. It's about applying Stoicism in tough times, knowing your value doesn't depend on anyone else. By embracing this Stoic wisdom, you can navigate your relationships with authenticity and strength, always staying true to your core values and principles. Number 4, never chase after someone. This lesson ties closely with everything we've discussed, particularly through a Stoic lens. Stoicism guides us to focus on what we can control and to let go of what we can't. This philosophy becomes particularly powerful in the context of relationships. It teaches us that chasing after someone who is drifting away not only proves futile, but also undermines our own self-worth. This approach shifts everything. It puts you back in control. You're no longer at the mercy of someone else's whims. You dictate your own feelings and actions. It's empowering and quite liberating. And here's what's more. When you stop chasing others and start focusing on your own life and growth, amazing things happen. You begin to attract people who are drawn to your confidence and self-assuredness. It's like sending out a signal that says, I value myself and I know my worth. So, let's take this to heart. Let's affirm that we never need to chase anyone. Embrace a Stoic attitude in your relationships, calm, self-respecting, and focused on what you can control. It's about finding peace within yourself, not seeking validation from others. By doing so, you cultivate relationships built on mutual respect and genuine connection, ensuring that your self-worth remains intact and unwavering. Number 5. Developing healthy skepticism. Stoicism advises us to see things as they are, not just as we wish them to be. This approach is especially valuable in the realms of love and dating. We've all been there, right? Everyone says exactly what we want to hear, and despite warning signs, we're tempted to dive right in. This is where a Stoic mindset can really help. Think of healthy skepticism as a kind of superpower. It's not about being negative or distrustful. It's about staying grounded in reality and not taking everything at face value. This means being watchful, asking questions, and taking your time to think things through before making decisions. Picture this. You meet someone who seems incredible. They shower you with compliments and talk about a future together, but you've only just met. A Stoic would tell you to slow down, watch if their actions match their words over time, and keep a level head. It's a gentle reminder to not get carried away by romance, but to stay alert and mindful. This kind of skepticism doesn't mean grilling someone or constantly doubting them. Rather, it's about being considerate and observant. It's about really listening to what they say and watching what they do. It's taking the time to truly get to know someone, checking if they're consistent and sincere. Stoics relied on logic and reason, balancing these with emotions. This balance is key in relationships, where emotions can sometimes make us miss critical details. Moreover, this approach is about protecting your heart. By keeping a healthy level of skepticism, you're not jumping into anything without being sure. You give yourself the chance to really understand who the other person is, rather than just projecting your hopes onto them. So, let's remember the value of a bit of Stoic skepticism. It's about being smart, attentive, and not letting our emotions get the best of us. It's about protecting our emotional health. We're not closing ourselves off, but rather, we're approaching new relationships with thoughtfulness and wisdom. As we wrap up today's conversation, I want to leave you with a thought that's both simple and profound. Imagine life as a vast tapestry, and your self-worth is the brightest, most vibrant thread weaving through it. By embracing a Stoic mindset, you ensure that this thread remains strong and resilient, adding depth and beauty to your life's tapestry. Number 6. Know your true value. How does Stoicism help us understand our worth in relationships? Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control, and luckily, our self-worth is completely in our hands. It's not measured by likes on social media or whether someone takes an interest in us. It's about how we view and value ourselves. Think of it like this. Imagine you're a rare gemstone. Not everyone understands the value of a rare gem. Some might walk by without a second glance. However, this doesn't make the gem any less valuable. It remains unique and precious just like you. Your worth doesn't decrease just because someone doesn't see it. We've all faced rejection and felt less than enough, particularly in a world where it seems like everyone else is perfect. But here's the scoop from a Stoic viewpoint. Your value doesn't hinge on others' approval. It's tied to how you behave, your morals, and your actions. Are you kind? Honest? Do you live according to your beliefs? That's where your real value lies. Stoics encourage self-reflection. So take a moment to think about your traits, not just the surface ones, but the deeper qualities. What makes you unique? Are you empathetic, determined, a dependable friend? These are the building blocks of your value. And here's the thing, when you really understand and value these traits, it changes how you interact in relationships. You won't tolerate poor treatment, not out of pride, but because you respect yourself. Here's a simple Stoic exercise. The next time you feel undervalued rather than doubting yourself, ask, what virtues and values do I bring to this situation? Remind yourself of these qualities. It's not about boasting. It's about reassuring yourself of your value, independent of outside approval. As Marcus Aurelius, a famous Stoic emperor, said, "You have control over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In relationships, it's about discovering strength in your own value, your self-worth, regardless of whether others see it or not. Recognizing your worth isn't a one-time thing. It's an ongoing journey, a practice that develops over time. It involves waking up each day and reminding yourself of your value, not because of what others think, but because of the inherent qualities that define you. By embracing Stoicism, you cultivate an unshakable foundation of self-worth, empowering you to navigate relationships with confidence and integrity, knowing that your true value lies within. Number 7. Carry yourself with pride. Before you picture a Stoic as a grim, serious figure from ancient history, let me clarify something. Stoicism isn't about hiding your emotions or being indifferent. It's about deciding what's worth your energy and what isn't. And one thing that definitely merits your attention is how you present yourself. So let's dive into what it means to carry yourself with pride in relationships. Ever caught yourself bending over backwards to impress someone, only to realize you've strayed from your true self? You might tweak how you dress or alter your speech, all for a nod of approval. But here's the truth. Your self-esteem shouldn't depend on your style or the hip places you visit. It's about your actions, your decisions, and how you present yourself. In today's dating scene, the lesson remains the same. Just be yourself. Love books? Show it. Passionate about a hobby? Let it be known. It's not about creating a facade. It's about being comfortable and confident in who you are, recognizing your own worth just as you are. Another key point is how you treat yourself. The way you regard yourself sets a precedent for how others will treat you. Self-criticism implies it's okay for others to criticize you too. However, when you hold yourself in high regard, cherishing your time, energy, and emotions, you send a strong message. I deserve respect, and I expect to be treated accordingly. Reflect on the words of Epictetus, a wise Stoic philosopher. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In relationships, it's not solely about your appearance or what you say. It's about your reactions, how you handle various situations. Are you reacting out of desperation or with dignity? Do you compromise your principles to fit in, or do you stay true to yourself, even if it means standing alone? Perfection isn't the goal here. We all have our imperfections and awkward moments. What counts is how you manage these times. Do you fall apart under pressure, or do you stand strong, learn, and continue moving forward? Let's consider how we can start to demonstrate more dignity in our daily lives. This might mean setting clear boundaries or turning down things that don't align with our values. Perhaps it involves treating ourselves with more compassion and respect. By viewing yourself as someone deserving of respect, you encourage others to see you in the same light. In essence, Stoicism teaches us to carry ourselves with dignity and authenticity. It's about being true to who we are, valuing our own worth, and setting the tone for how others should treat us. By embracing these principles, we not only enhance our relationships but also build a stronger, more confident self. Number 8. Actions carry more weight than words. As we delve deeper into Stoicism, we learn that it's all about practical wisdom. This means evaluating people more by their actions than by their words. In our everyday interactions, particularly in relationships, it's common to encounter people who talk a good game but fail to follow through. Stoics teach us to look beyond charming words and focus on concrete actions. Think about it. It's easy for someone to say all the right things, to make promises, and paint a perfect picture of the future. But do their actions back up their words? That's where you find the real story. We've all been there, haven't we? Everyone sweeps us off our feet with beautiful words and grand promises. However, as time passes, we see they don't follow up on their words. They say they'll call but never do. They make plans and cancel. This is when we need to channel our inner Stoic. Stoicism instructs us not to get carried away by sweet talk or overwhelmed by our emotions. It encourages us to remain logical and see things as they truly are. If someone's actions don't match their words, take it as a red flag, a signal from the universe to pay attention. Adopting this mindset changes how you manage relationships. You start to notice the finer details. How does this person act when things get tough? Do they keep their promises? Are they truly there for you, not just with words but with actions that count? Here's what's interesting. When you focus on people's actions rather than their words, you set a standard. You're effectively telling them, I'm not just listening, I'm observing. This realization can be powerful. People understand they can't just charm their way into your life. They need to demonstrate their trustworthiness and sincerity. Remember, this approach isn't about being cynical or mistrustful of everyone. It's about being smart and protecting your emotions with a bit of Stoic wisdom. It's about not letting feelings sweep you away but staying grounded in reality. So let's commit to this. We'll watch actions, not just listen to words. We'll approach relationships with a Stoic lens, logical, observant, and thoughtful. Because in the end, actions will always speak louder than words. Number 9. Setting boundaries without words. Stoics believe in showing, not just telling, which is crucial when it comes to setting boundaries in relationships. It's one thing to say, you won't tolerate poor treatment, but the real challenge lies in your response when faced with it. This is where true strength shows, not in what we say, but in what we do. I know this isn't easy. It can be tough, especially when emotions are involved. However, remember the Stoic wisdom. We control our responses. If someone crosses a line, how you react is what truly sets and reinforces that boundary, not just the words you speak. This approach can transform your relationships. When people see you have clear boundaries and are willing to enforce them, they understand better what you will and won't tolerate. It's a way to cultivate self-respect and stay true to it. Think about how you handle everyday situations, not just the big ones. What do you do when plans fall through or someone disrespects your time? Do you let it slide, or do you calmly show through your actions that this isn't okay? Stoic mindfulness plays a role here. It involves being aware of the present and how you respond to what happens. Are your actions consistent with your boundaries? Are you being true to yourself? Paying attention to these everyday moments is crucial because that's often where your boundaries are really tested. As we interact with others daily, let's strive to incorporate a bit of Stoicism in how we express our boundaries. It's not about being rigid, it's about guiding our responses with an inner compass. And believe me, when you start living this way, people notice. They begin to see you as someone who not only sets boundaries but values themselves enough to stick to them. By consistently aligning your actions with your values, you create a life of integrity and respect. This consistency builds a reputation of reliability and self-assurance, qualities that draw genuine respect from others. So, let's commit to embodying this Stoic principle in our daily lives. Show through your actions that you respect yourself, and in turn, others will respect you too. Number 10. Embrace change with grace. Change is inevitable, especially in relationships, and Stoicism equips us to handle it with grace and resilience. This philosophy teaches that change is not something to fear or resist, but an opportunity to grow and learn. Embracing change instead of fighting against it is a central theme in Stoicism, and it has profound implications for how we navigate our personal connections. Imagine you're in a relationship that's going through a transition. Maybe circumstances are shifting or feelings are evolving. Our first instinct might be to resist these changes, to try and maintain the status quo because it feels safe and familiar. However, Stoicism encourages us to look at change differently. It asks us to consider, what can this change teach me, rather than how can I stop this? This approach involves accepting that we don't have control over everything in our lives, especially not the feelings and actions of others. Instead, we focus on what we can control: our reactions, our mindset, and our actions. When we meet change with an open and accepting attitude, we reduce stress and anxiety and increase our capacity for happiness and satisfaction in our relationships. Handling change gracefully means understanding that all relationships evolve. Some might deepen and grow stronger, while others may naturally come to an end. The Stoic practice of detachment, not being overly attached to outcomes but enjoying the journey, is crucial here. It allows us to appreciate our relationships for what they are in the moment, without clinging to what they used to be, or worrying too much about what they will become. Here's a practical tip. When faced with change, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what is this situation asking of me? How can I respond in a way that aligns with my values and promotes growth? This reflection can help guide your actions and give you the strength to handle whatever comes your way with composure and dignity. Let's affirm that embracing change isn't about passivity. It's about actively choosing how we engage with the evolving circumstances of our lives. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we empower ourselves to navigate change not just with acceptance, but with a proactive and positive outlook. This not only enhances our own well-being, but also enriches our relationships, making them more adaptable and resilient in the face of life's inevitable shifts. Embracing change as an opportunity rather than a threat allows us to grow alongside our partners, deepening our connections through shared experiences and mutual understanding. By seeing change as a chance to learn and evolve, we can transform challenges into stepping stones, fostering a deeper, more resilient bond with those we care about. So, let's welcome change with open arms, knowing that it is a natural part of life and a powerful catalyst for personal and relational growth. This idea isn't new. It's deeply rooted in Stoicism, which teaches us that our responses to life's challenges are within our control. You hold the reins to your dignity and self-esteem. I encourage you to fully embrace your inner strength. Let every action, decision, and boundary you set be a reflection of the incredible person you are. And if ever you find yourself doubting, remember this discussion and the timeless wisdom of the Stoics. Life isn't merely to be endured, but to be actively improved. empowering us to grow stronger and wiser with each passing day. If this video resonated with you, feel free to leave a comment below or simply say, "I value myself," to affirm your commitment to your journey. Also, take a moment to check out the playlist on your screen. It's full of more discussions, insightful stories, and practical advice aimed at helping you approach life with more clarity, strength, and confidence. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. We are all learning and growing together, one step at a time. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support helps us continue to bring you valuable content. Until we meet again, take care, stay enlightened, and keep nurturing your inner Stoic.